Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be making orange vanilla panna cotta with caramelized rice puffs. I'm Chef Patrick and you're watching Publix Aprons Cooking School online. All right, let's jump into making the base for this panna cotta. I've got a medium sauce pot on medium heat. To that, we're going to add a cup and a half of whole milk, cup and a half of heavy cream as well. This could be made with all heavy cream or whole milk if you like. Panna cotta actually means cooked cream. We're going to add some sugar, pinch of kosher salt, and the last piece of the puzzle here will be the flavoring of the vanilla beans. It is the fruit of an orchid. Inside of this bean are little black specks, or what we call flavor crystals. By cutting this in half and adding it to the pot, we're going to allow the flavor crystals to come out of that pod and get into our base. And allow it to sit for about 15 minutes for all of that vanilla flavor to come out. Let's get into the flavor component of this dish, which is going to be orange today. A beautiful navel orange. What we want to do is zest it using a microplane zester. If you do not like orange, or maybe you like lime, grapefruit, lemon, or other citruses even more, it's interchangeable. I can tap that onto the board. I will gather that into our measuring spoon, perfect amount. And we're going to go ahead and start making supremes. What we want to do is cut the two ends off of this, set that aside. You want to cut just enough to expose the fruit, like we did. We're going to take our knife and along the curvature of the fruit, we're going to try to stay as close to the peel and the flesh. Once all the pith or peel is off, if you don't get it all because of the curvature of the fruit, you can just turn it a bit. The reason we're doing this is so we can get the clear lines of the segments. And I already have two oranges that I segmented and juiced already. We're going to use this same bowl. What we're going to do is hold the fruit over the bowl and take our sharp knife and go in between the segments and just dropping that fruit right into the bowl. We're going to take our knife and we're going to turn it over, dull side down, sharp side up. We're going to use the knife and press the fruit into it. Look at all that juice that's releasing from that. And now we are ready to go. I'm going to go wash my hands, come back, and we'll put the flavoring component of this orange into that panna cotta base. All righty, we're ready for the next step in this recipe. So we've got our segments, which are going to end up into these ramekins. But what we need to do first is take this gelatin and bloom it. We're going to use the orange juice to do that. In this recipe, a quarter cup is all that we need. Right into a microwave safe bowl. Our gelatin will go in and we will give that a quick little stir. This technique is called blooming. And what it does is it allows the gelatin to expand. This gelatin is going to set up, and then we're going to take it to the microwave and we're going to liquefy it again and then add it to our cooked cream mixture. So right now, the next step that we want to do is take these beautiful segments and we're going to divide them among these ramekins. You could certainly cut these into smaller pieces if you like, but I like these nice big pieces. They're going to showcase your skills and your talent to your guests when you go and serve this. So this is bloomed. We're going to take this to the microwave and we are going to liquefy it. All right, our gelatin has been bloomed. We heated it back up in the microwave and it is ready to go. We're going to put the final touches on this cooked cream or panna cotta and then get it into the refrigerator. So remember that vanilla bean that we put in? First thing we're going to do is try to find them and pull them out. We did a pretty good job at finding them there, huh? We're going to pat them dry on a paper towel. Then what we want to do is take that paring knife that we split the bean with. We're going to hold the bean at one end. We're going to find the cut portion, which is right there, and scrape the vanilla bean pod. We're going to do that with the other half as well. Just like so. So we've got all of that flavor that we're going to get back into our cooked cream, like so. And then we're going to whisk that up with the zest of the orange and the bloomed gelatin orange juice mixture. Get that to incorporate really well. Just like so. We're almost ready to fill our ramekins, but before we do that, I want to show you a great tip. So the vanilla bean pod has all the flavor crystals pretty much extracted from it. You may say you can throw that away, but this is what I like to do. I'll just take some granulated sugar in a sealable container, add the pods to this, watch this, seal it, give it a shake. In 3 to 4 days, you're going to have beautiful flavored vanilla sugar that you can do a variety of things with. Maybe put it in your coffee, top some baked goods with it. Next, all we have to do is divide this cream mixture evenly amongst these 6 ramekins. So a 4 to 6 ounce ladle would be great. And every other fill, give it a little stir. Those vanilla flavor crystals are quite heavy, but small, and they'll sink to the bottom of the pot. All right, our dishes are filled evenly. We're going to take this and put it into the refrigerator. You can put a plastic film over it and let it sit. Should take somewhere around 4 to 6 hours, but if you let it sit overnight, that'll be fine as well. Let's grab the rest of our stuff to make our caramelized rice puffs. All right, now we're going to put a fun twist in this recipe by making some caramelized rice puffs. About 1.5 cups of rice puffs. We got a pot that's been heating on the stove. To that, we're going to add some water, some granulated sugar, and a little bit of kosher salt, about 1/2 teaspoon. It looks great. We're going to bring this to a boil without stirring. We could just go ahead and give it a little bit of a shake like that. What we want to do is get this sugar to about 240 degrees. It's what we call a softball stage. To do that, we're going to need some sort of candy or digital thermometer to help us make sure that we get it to that stage. 235, perfect. 240 degrees, just where we want it. All right, now we're going to add our rice puffs to it. Stir it with a wooden spoon. You may get a little gathering on your spoon. Just go ahead and knock that back into the pot, like so. And we can see our sugar is crystallizing really good. Once we're there, then pour everything out onto a parchment-lined sheet tray. Spread the puffs out onto that tray. Be careful, the pot is still a little bit warm, so we're going to put that away. Our puffs are crystallized with the sugar at this point. What we want to do is let them cool completely, and we're going to caramelize them in a hot saute pan, which I'm going to go grab right now. So now that they're cooled, sugar crystallized on them and it's set, we've got a saute pan that's kind of over medium-high heat. It's been heating up for about 1 minute or 2. This is going to take 2 batches. Don't overcrowd your pan. It's very important that you get a nice even layer of puffs. This is going to happen relatively quickly. All right, so now I can see that the puffs are starting to stick to the bottom of the pan. That means the caramelization is starting to happen. I can take and start to stir them around to get even coating and out onto our parchment-lined tray, like so. They may stick a little bit, just be careful. Go ahead and give them a stir, and then we're going to add the rest of our puffs, and we're going to utilize our parchment paper to do that. So as they're cooling, we'll go ahead and get set up to take the panna cottas out of the ramekins plate and taste this dessert. panna cottas is set up in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. What we're looking for is just make sure we've got a nice firm jiggle there and the dessert is completely set. We are going to unmold this today. You certainly can eat this right in the ramekin. I'm going to show you a really cool technique. What I have is a saute pan here. I filled it with a little bit of warm water and then brought it to a simmer. It comes right out after heating it up. We're going to top this with some of those rice puffs, just like so. We're going to finish it off with one of these cream-filled pirouette cookies. Just lay that right on top like so. That's a beautiful looking dessert. My favorite part of the recipe, we get to try it. What we want to do is make sure we get a good amount of orange in there, along with some rice puffs. Wow. The creaminess of that dessert, the right amount of gelatin as it just melts in your mouth, that punch from the citrus, the juice, the zest, as well as the segment, and the crispiness of the rice puffs is so good together. I really hope you enjoyed the panna cotta and you try this at home. Some unique flavors, textures, and impressive but simple techniques that really up the wow factor of this one. You can use the link to download the full recipe, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to watch other Aprons Cooking School videos and find more great content from Publix. We'll see you next time.